So guys, we have some brand new leaks for the Flash movie talking about some changes that have been made for the ending of the film, but also we do have some cameo news to go over now saying that the CW's Flash, Grant Gustin, will not be making a cameo in the Flash movie, all of which we'll be talking about in this video. So if this sounds interesting, let's hop into it. Yo, what is going on guys, Flashverse here, and welcome back to another video on the Flash movie. Now, the past couple of days, it's been big for the Flash movie. Obviously, we've had some early screenings in like CinemaCon and various other different places where people have actually been able to see the film early, and everyone's saying stuff like, believe the hype, this film is one of the best DC movies or just superhero movies ever made. So the hype for the Flash movie is now starting to rise. Yeah, I just couldn't get any more excited for this film. But obviously early reviews have come out and they've been very positive, but also we did get a brand new trailer for the film as well, which shows a bunch of more new footage and just gets me so hyped up to see the Flash. But also, as I said, we do have some leaks to go over. This is in regards to the ending of the film and how there have been last minute changes. So they've changed up the ending for the film, so we'll be talking about that, and that is from the article The Direct, so I'll be reading over that. It will be linked in the description down below. And in the second part of this video, we will be talking about the cameos, because now there's been news from Andy Muschietti himself saying that Grant Gustin will not be in the Flash movie, and in regards to that, I'll be going over the article from Nerdist. So we'll be going over two different articles, both of which will be linked in the description down below. So in regards to this first article, obviously it's from The Direct, and it talks about the Flash movie ending reportedly getting last minute changes. So let's have a read over this. The Flash has apparently made some major changes, so it's ending ahead of James Gunn's new DCU reboot. Now also, I do want to very specifically just mention that these are just leaks and rumors. They might not even 100% be true, so take everything I say with a massive grain of salt, because obviously the film isn't out yet, so we don't really know. These are just leaks and rumors, as I said. So Geeks Worldwide's Casey Walsh shared new details about The Flash's ending, which seemed to come from one of DC's blockbuster latest test screenings. According to Walsh, the movie is now complete, which ought to come out as no surprise, given it will see its premiere at CinemaCon, which already it has. That already happened. So this article, it's pretty much a couple of days before. The insider added how the ending has been changed to be more vague, particularly noting how the cameo isn't what you think it is either. The cameo in question likely refers to rumors of George Clooney's Batman appearing, which obviously there are multiple other cameos that have been, questioned in regards to whether we will see certain characters appearing, such as Grant Gustin's The Flash. So the article continues, apparently that isn't the only cameo, as Walsh promised the Speed Force has cameos galore, including both a CW connection and a Dream cameo, which will be what everyone talks about. So this, it's hinting to a CW connection, but also, as I said in the other article which we'll be going over, it pretty much debunks this. So this is why, as I said, we question whether this is all 100% legit. However, also some of the other changes do make a lot of sense. So like when we continue on, for example, in a move that will undoubtedly prove controversial, references to Zack Snyder's Justice League appear to be removed, according to Walsh, who previously supported the claim The Flash may decanonize the extended cut. Now, for example, something like this, it does make sense, because what they're trying to do is they're using the Flash movie to pretty much reboot everything. So in a way, it is the movie that opens the doors to now explore James Gunn's DC universe. So that's when we're going to get Chapter 1, Gods and Monsters, and the multiple other projects to come. The Flash movie is pretty much going to be the movie that reboots everything and starts it all fresh, and then obviously starts James Gunn's universe. So with those sorts of changes, like removing anything related to like Zack Snyder's Justice League or something like that, it does make sense that they decanonize those sorts of stuff to just make it much easier to just start fresh and reboot everything. Now, this is obviously The Flash. You could obviously go around meddling with time travel, various other things like that. So a reboot in the Flash movie makes the most sense, and this was what James Gunn did say when he was first, explaining his slate anyways. It was the Flash movie that pretty much kickstarts his whole universe, and that is due to the repercussions of Flashpoint, which at the time of this film being pretty much filmed, James Gunn wasn't in control yet. So it does make sense that the ending has actually been changed. Now, the article does talk a little bit more about this in more detail, so we'll continue. As James Gunn prepares to kickstart his new DCU, the only confirmed characters to be replaced are Ben Affleck's Batman and Henry Cavill's Superman. The fates of Ezra Miller's Flash, Gal Gadot Wonder Woman, and Jason Momoa's Aquaman all remain up in the air for now. So with it seemingly undecided whether Miller's Flash will continue on amid the controversy surrounding them, a vague ending makes sense. Perhaps the Flash will instead focus on putting an end to this universe with a hint at a new one to take its place, instead of directly showing what's next. In saying this, Flash's Speed Force will be cameos galore, there's a high chance this doesn't necessarily refer to new scenes with familiar characters, but rather a selection of archive footage from past DC projects. And this is what Titans did when they were exploring the multiverse and stuff like that. They showed a bunch of clips from previous seasons of a show, but it explored the multiverse. They could do something like that. And then as they continue, this would offer a great way to convey the scale of the multiverse and show how everything is part of it. While there's a good chance that the CW connection in question will be Grant Gustin's Flash, as the movie was previously rumored to include him, this could also just come down to just footage from his DC series if the actor is indeed telling the truth in saying he won't be appearing in the movie. And that was from TV Line, where Grant Gustin did say that he hasn't been approached and that he will not be appearing in the Flash movie. Grant Gustin did say that, but also you can never trust an actor with these sorts of things because obviously they cannot really say it for the sake of spoilers. So he'd be pulling an Andrew Garfield. Pretty much he'd be saying that he's not in the film, but he might be in the film. However, there are also news just pretty much saying that he's not in the film. So we don't really know. It could all be lies and it could just be a big surprise, or he is genuinely not in the film. We don't know for 100%. But what's interesting here is the suggestion of a dream cameo. That will apparently be all the fans are left talking about. The top contender here could be Christian Bale's Batman, likely through old footage, as his portrayal continues to be among the most popular in DC history and will certainly have audiences hyper. Now, the only thing I don't really like about this, and we're going to continue on with the other article as well, talking about multiple different cameos, but if Grant Gustin's Flash isn't in the movie, but you're having other characters let's say another version of Batman, if this dream cameo was supposed to be Christian Bale's Batman, let's just say it for the sake of it. This is not a Batman film, this is a Flash movie. So out of everyone, having Grant Gustin being the cameo makes the most sense. So that's the only thing I don't really like. If you have time to throw in all of these characters, but not another version of the Flash, that doesn't really make too much sense in my opinion. But yeah, here's where we, continue on talking about more cameos. And as I said, this is from the Nerdist. So they say the movie has even more cameos, guest appearances, and surprises for die-hard fans of superhero cinema and comics. Andy Muschietti confirmed his initial assembly was 4 hours long, therefore some choice cameos were left on the cutting room floor. When Q&A moderator Gray Drake asked the Muschiettis what character or moments they couldn't fit in the film, they obliged with a small sampling. The Flash cameos that unfortunately didn't work out include Linda Carter's Wonder Woman from the 70s TV series, Marlon Brando's Jor-El from 1970s Superman, as well as Burgess Meredith's Penguin and Cesar Romero's Joker from the 1960s Batman TV series. And then this is where it talks about Grant Gustin. During the reception after the screening, Nerdist spoke to Andy Muschietti with a few other reporters in response to a question from Dorian Parks from Geeks of Color. He confirmed that Grant Gustin almost had a cameo in the film as Barry Allen from the CW's The Flash. Muschietti was very complimentary about what the CW Flash series has accomplished, but unfortunately there wasn't room to include Grant Gustin's take on Barry Allen. Muschietti said, of course, as I said before, the list of cameos was huge, so obviously we played with the idea of including DC characters from TV, but we just had to pick. And for me, this doesn't make sense because, as I said, this is a Flash movie. Out of anyone that's supposed to cameo, Grant Gustin makes the most sense. It's a multiverse film. You're going to have the Speed Force, and we had Ezra Miller appearing in the Arrowverse. So, in my opinion, Grant Gustin made the most sense. And for him not to appear, I just find it quite weird. So, from my observation over here, this either goes one of two ways. Either A, Grant Gustin is lying by saying that he's not in the movie, and Andy Muschietti is lying as well to just make it like a shock factor and just get people pretty much surprised. Or B, he's genuinely not in the film, which in my opinion, it would be a huge missed opportunity, and I don't know, I just wouldn't be a fan of it because, as I've been saying, he makes the most sense out of anyone. Now, in terms of the Flash movie's ending being changed, as I said, it makes sense because of, like, you know, the whole reboot it needs to do to pretty much kickstart James Gunn's DCU. So in regards to all of that, it does make sense. And also the ending being vague makes quite a lot of sense as well, because A, we don't know if Ezra Miller is staying as the Flash or not. I think they won't be the Flash after this movie. I think James Gunn will then decide to fire them. But then we don't know the futures for the other characters in the film as well. So that's why a vague ending makes much more sense. But also, it would have been cool if they had some like other things set up, such as like a Reverse Flash ending scene where, you know, it turns out that he was there at the night of his mother's murder, and that pretty much like sets up Reverse Flash for the second film. I wish they did have something like that where we do have a cliffhanger as well of the Reverse Flash. However, with what's going on with like the whole controversy behind Ezra Miller, as well as the future of the DCU, I am going to say that the vaguer ending does make the most sense over here. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. If you guys have enjoyed the video, please give a like and subscribe. Be sure to let me know in the comment section down below if you guys think that Grant Gustin will be in this movie or not. I'm interested to see your thoughts towards all of this as well. And also be sure to tell me in the comment section down below if you guys think that changing the ending of the Flash movie was a smart move. I'm interested to see all of your thoughts towards all of this as well. And yeah, I will see you all in my next video.